Welcome back, everyone. In this video, we are going to be taking a look at the all-new Capture One 21. This is the brand new version of one of my favorite photo editing applications ever made. I've been working with the beta for a while now, so I'm super excited to share this with you guys today. This video is brought to you by the awesome folks over at Capture One, and pretty much we're going to go through every new feature in the brand new version. So let's jump right in. So if you are new to Capture One, you've never used this before, sometimes it can be a little overwhelming. There's a lot of tools, a lot of panels that do different things. Well, in the new version of Capture One, we now have enhanced tooltips. So if I hover over any tool, let's say for instance the brush tool, I'm going to get a little image and a description of what that is. It's also going to link me to a tutorial. So for instance, keystoning, this is something you might not be familiar with. If you want to learn how to straighten up your images and correct perspective, you can go to the Learn More link, get some best practices, and this goes for everything. It also goes for tools over here on various panels. So basic characteristics, I get an enhanced pop-up giving me a description. To get to these, what you do is just hold the mouse over any one of these and you're going to get a pop-up window that contextualizes it. The other thing that's very cool is you're going to see in the interface at the top right-hand side of the screen, we now have this Learn button with the little play button. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and what that's going to do is going to bring up a pop-up window that gives us some tutorials that I can basically link right from the app to. And so this is a really great way to be able to learn the software right from within the application. So if there's a specific tool or something that you don't understand the concept behind, you can get to that information really easily. So now I want to talk about probably my favorite new feature in Capture One 21. This is a concept called speed edit. So for instance, there are things that you do quite frequently, like adjusting exposure, adjusting contrast, maybe your white point, your black point, so on and so forth. A lot of times you have to go in and you're using sliders to do these, you have to change panels, so on and so forth. But speed edit allows you to be able to use keyboard modifiers and just click and drag across the image to get to these things really quickly. Bear with me, this is a huge time saver. So let me give you an example here. So I've got an image here. This was taken out in the desert near Las Vegas a while back, and I've got a white balance problem. The image is too cool, it's a little dark, I want to change my exposure, adjust my contrast, and so I kind of know what I want to do with this image. And it's pretty basic stuff in the beginning because we're going to do white balance, we're going to do exposure, and probably adjust contrast. So those three things. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use keys on the keyboard, and what we're going to do is use them as modifiers. So if I hold down a key, it's going to essentially turn into that slider, and I just click and drag across the screen. So let me give you an example. If I use the number 1 on the keyboard, I'm going to hold the number 1 down. Now watch what happens at the bottom of the image. Right here we have the name of the image, or the name of this file. When I hold down the letter 1, and I'm not going to release it, I'm just holding it down, we now get the Kelvin slider. So I could actually click and drag it from here, or I could just click and drag anywhere in the image. So if I want to warm this up, I'm going to just click and drag, move it to the right, and it gets warm real quick. And so I can do the same. Number 2 is going to be tint. So for instance, if I have a little color cast on here, I want to bring out either magenta or green, that's actually pretty good where it is. This is how this works. You're going to hold down the key and then just click and drag across the screen. So the next one I want to show you is exposure. It's the letter Q, so it's right under that. So we have Q. I'm going to hold that down. You're going to see it turn into exposure at the bottom. I'm just going to click and drag across the screen to bring up that exposure a little bit. I can quickly bounce back and forth. I'm going to go back to the number 1. I'm going to make that a little warmer again. Looking good. And then let's do contrast. This is the letter W. So I'm going to hold down the letter W. I'm going to bring up the contrast. Now notice my exposure gets a little warm, so I'm going to bring back the exposure. So this is a really cool way to speed up your editing once you get the hang of where these are on the keyboard. Now, these are also editable. So for some reason you don't want the number 1 to be Kelvin, you want that to be exposure, you can edit these, and I'll show you how to do that. What we're going to do is on the top of the screen, I'm going to go under Edit, and I'm going to say Edit Keyboard Shortcuts, and you're going to see that not only can we modify the shortcut keys like we could before, but now we can modify the speed edit keys. So you can change these up if they're not in a natural order for you. This is one of my favorite things, and the reason why is because we've constantly had kind of these accessories that are available for photo editors. I use some of them. I use the Loop Deck CT when I'm working in Lightroom, for instance, and these are cool, but it's an accessory. So if you travel, it's one more thing to remember to bring, and we use these because we've got knobs and buttons that just enable us to just move around and edit much quicker. This kind of does it from a keyboard. So if you've got Capture One on a laptop, it's always with you, and that's one of the things I really love about this. Next up, we have a new tool for Capture One, and this is a Dehaze slider, and there's some advanced options that it's got in here. It's very cool. So to get to the Dehaze tool, you're going to go over, make sure you're under the Exposure tab here on your tool panels here. It's the 5th from the left by default, and if you look down on that panel, you're going to see Dehaze. It's right under Clarity, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this off and just let it float over the screen here so we can focus on that. What's really cool is you can do this with any of these panels, and if I want to put it back, you just simply drag and put it back. You can reorder these, but we're going to pull this off here so you can see how this works. So Dehaze is going to add some localized contrast. It's literally going to dehaze the image. You can also add haze if you go the other way. So for instance, if I drag this to the right, you're going to see the image kind of tighten up and darken a bit, and then if I move it the other way, it's going to wash out somewhat. So let's go ahead and darken this up. The other cool thing about this is we now have an option for our shadow tone. So by default, this is set to auto, which means Capture One's going to automatically decide that shadow tone. The other thing I can do is set this to manual, and this allows me to grab the eyedropper, and I can click on any color in this image. Let's crank it up so we can really see that, and you're going to see how that affects the image. So if I do one of these leaves here, for instance, or if I do a grass blade, it's going to slightly change the shadow tone that's being applied with the dehaze. So you can dial that in exactly how you want it. So this is very cool. We've seen dehaze in other applications, but I think the Capture One, not surprisingly, because they always do give us unique options with this. Another new addition to Capture One is we now have a redesigned import dialog. So there's been some issues with this in the past. For instance, if you're trying to import images that might have folders nested within folders, you kind of have to go through each folder and do those separately. We now have that completely redesigned. There's a lot of cool options. So to get to it, it's like you've done before. What we're going to do is go to the top left-hand side of the screen. You're going to see the import button. And here on the top left, we can include subfolders. We can also exclude duplicates. There is now a method of backing everything up. So if you want to do that from Capture One, that's a nice option to have. We also have HEIC support in Capture One 21. So if you shoot a lot of images on your phone and you bring them over to the computer, unless you tell it to shoot in JPEG, a lot of phones, for instance, the iPhone will shoot in what they call an HEIC format, which is a high efficiency format. It's like a JPEG, but smaller. And so now Capture One 21 supports HEIC files. And I also want to talk about some new color profile support. So we now have what we're calling ProStandard support for select profiles. So let's back up a second before we get into this, and I want to talk a little bit about color in Capture One. So we're going to go over to the color tab. This is the 4th from the left, and when you are on the color tab, we're going to go down to the base characteristics palette. If this is closed, just look at the little triangle next to it and you can tick that and open it up. You're going to see a couple things in here. The first is the ICC profile. Now this is going to refer to shooting raw files. So this concept does not apply to JPEGs. When you have a JPEG, the color's kind of baked in for interpretation into a color space. Raw format files are literally that. It is raw data. I've done a lot of videos on this before, specifically to Capture One, but Capture One has a process of developing custom profiles for each camera that coincide with your sensor. So this is why every camera in the world isn't supported. This is why if you buy a new camera in particular and you try to bring raw files into Capture One, it won't read them until it has a profile developed for it. So Capture One, who make Phase 1 cameras, that's a very intensive color system that they have for those cameras that has to be on a very high standard level. And so when Capture One versions ago opened up to other cameras, they started developing profiles so that they would match. And so the idea is that you're shooting on multiple different types of bodies, maybe from different manufacturers even, that you do have color consistency as it goes across the board. So one thing they've introduced in Capture One 21 is now for certain camera models, we do have a new profile. So right now it's set to Sony A7R Mark IV generic, which is what it's going to select by default. You don't have to do that. It knows that when you bring the images in. If I click on that drop-down box, you're going to see that we now have a second profile in here called ProStandard. And if I just hover over each one of them, I'm going to back out so you can see this image, you can see some slight changes, and you're going to notice it in this image mostly with the blues down in the shadows, so down here in this lower part of the image. When I move to ProStandard, you're going to see that those just become a little more rich. I wouldn't say saturated, but you can see that they do enhance. So these are really subtle changes, and I'll give you another image where you can see a big shift here. So one of the problems with Sony cameras that people complain about a lot is they tend to have a little bit too much magenta in the color. So for instance, if I'm going to use, this is with an A7 Mark III, I'm going to click the drop down box, you're going to see generic. If I go to ProStandard, if you look at the sand, it's very subtle. So here's generic, Here's ProStandard. You're going to see that it really lifts that magenta out, and it's just a slightly improved profile. So you can see that Capture One are clearly thinking about this with various camera models. You can go in, you have to actually select the ProStandard. It by default is still going to go to the generic because of legacy reasons. But anyway, if you want a list, I will put a link below this video. It's also on their website. That's what I'll link to. It's not a whole lot of cameras at this point, but it's some of the more popular ones from Sony, Nikon, Canon, Phase One, and also Leica. And speaking of Leica, I don't have one of these cameras to show you this with, but they have increased tethering support to the Leica SL2 as well as the S3. This is an image shot on a Z6, and it is supported with this camera as well, so I can go in here, and it also has camera profiles, so if I want to go in and use the landscape monochrome, any of these for example, but I can go down, you'll see it at the bottom, it says ProStandard, and I think this is one of the strong suits of Capture One. I've talked a lot about this in the past. I think color interpretation is very important, and I think that's one of the advantages to using Capture One, and I also think Capture One absolutely excels with raw file interpretation. Remember, raw files on your camera is just raw data, so you have to have the software interpret that. That's why it's going to look different bringing a raw file into Capture One versus another application, because they don't all do it the same way. Adobe definitely has their system of doing it, which works for them, but I think Capture One, because they have this system and they develop these profiles for each camera model, I think this is really one of the reasons to be using Capture One. I would love to know what you guys think. I'm going to do another video on Capture One 21, and it's going to be a little more laid back. It's just kind of how I edit with this, because it is one of my favorite editors. So if you have any questions for that video, I'll have that in a couple days here, but leave them below. I would love to know what you guys think. Until the next video, I'll catch you guys then. Later.